Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post another quick video here just to share a couple things. Tomorrow is my birthday, so yay for me. Made it to another one. So I wanted to share a couple of gifts that I've gotten over the past week or two, just some different things that people have given me for my birthday, as well as kind of some recent finds. A couple really cool things that I picked up. But let me start off actually, because this actually goes back to the last video, the video before last that I made. Ben and his son has sent me over a bunch of stuff in a VCLT packet that I shared with everyone, and there was a bunch of Thurston Moore stuff. This is one of the things that he sent over. And kind of, I guess, through the course of going through all that stuff that he sent over a ton of stuff. I totally overlooked that on this CD cover, or insert, he actually had Thurston Moore sign it to me, which for whatever reason, I just did not see that. And it says, to Brandon, King of the VC, Thurston. And I just completely and totally overlooked that. So thanks for pointing that out to me. I went back and pulled it out, and I'm like, holy cow, there it is. Because Lord knows, I love the autograph stuff. So just want to let you know, I did see that, and thanks again for all that stuff that you sent over. Now moving on here, like I said, a couple of birthday things and some recent finds, and I think I'll do the recent finds first. Let's do that first. That masterpiece you hear playing in the background is this right here, Eric Dolphy. This is Out to Lunch. I've been wanting to get this for quite some time. Glad to finally find a copy of it. But I mean, in my mind, again, I think people hear things and feel things differently, especially when it comes to actually putting stuff in certain genres or labeling them. But this, to me, is a perfect combination between traditional jazz and free jazz. I mean, it kind of has those perfect elements of both. And it even has this element of, some places, like a show tune type of feel into his delivery with his trumpet playing. But I mean, or sax, I'm sorry. But just really, really cool stuff. Absolute great album. So one of my jazz favorites already, and I'm just really starting to take the album in. And again, you know, I'm starting to get more and more into jazz, you know, in terms of really kind of, I guess, seeking it out more so than I did before. And that's been one of the interesting things that I've discovered about it is, because again, I didn't follow the Blue Note crowd, the Prestige crowd, just the classic artists and all that. I just, you know, I had your basic kind of blues, you know, that type of stuff. So it's really interesting that the more I'm getting into it now, just kind of seeing all these different artists, all these different albums, all these, you know, whatever. Why do I keep seeing the same 25, 30 names every single album? You know, it's like even on this one, you know, you see Freddie Hubbard's on here, Bobby Hutcherson's on here. You see Dolphy on a lot of Coltrane albums. Just like, these guys are just this awesome, I don't know if it's necessarily close-knit group, but this kind of close-knit genre, if you will. And it's just like they were just almost like jamming with each other all the time. So you see all these albums crossing back and forth. And again, I'm new to the blues world over the past year and a half. So that's what I've been discovering and a little, I guess, tickled about, if you will. Yeah, I said tickled. Deal with it. Over the past year or so. But anyway, that's what you hear playing in the background. Very, very good stuff. So check it out if you're not familiar with it. This one was kind of a blind buy. Paid a couple bucks for it. Wayne Shorter is one of my favorite jazz artists. This is Phantom Navigator. Kind of a cool cover there. And just picked it up, you know, again, just kind of a blind buy. It came out in 1987. Definitely not like his older stuff. This definitely had more of a modern day smooth jazz feel to it, not quite in the way that I liked. So a couple of good songs on it, but you know, for the most part, definitely will not be my favorite Wayne Shorter album anytime soon. Next one here, some very good funk added to the collection, Cain and Abel. Really good stuff there. The cover, kind of seeing the clothes they're wearing, will tell you everything you need to know about this album. Really, really good funky stuff. I've only listened to it one time all the way through. Again, new band for me. The one thing I do remember though is any funk album that has the lyric, what was it? If you don't like it, don't knock it, 'cause someone else may want to rock it. and there was, oh my God, I'm trying to remember. There was another one too. Oh gosh, there was some other lyric they said like. I just remember listening to that thinking, and see, okay, that's back to the real funk right there. I mean, just really, really good stuff. Again, it's a new band that I was not familiar with, and kind of digging it. I think the best two songs on here were "Girl You Move Me" and "Don't Knock My Love," the one I was just kind of describing. So make sure you check them out if you're not familiar. There are, I believe, a couple of songs here on YouTube that you can check out. Next one here was another one of those earballing buys. I was just kind of walking through the store and they had the CD playing, and I'm listening to it and it's making me move. I don't necessarily want to move, so I'm like, okay, what is that? Had to go check it out, and it ended up being something I've never heard of actually. Big Black Delta. Never heard of this before. The guy behind the counter was briefly describing that it was some guy that's part of some band. It's like a solo thing. Again, I know nothing about him whatsoever, except for the fact that it sounded pretty darn good. It was almost like, again, maybe not so much the sound, but the feel that I got from it was almost like an 80s electronic type feel being done in a 90s, 2000s indie type of way. And again, I've only actually listened to one album. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but just from what I heard in the store and what I listened to so far, that's the feel that I got from the album. But I really enjoyed it, and again, it's just a complete, total brand new band for me, so checked it out. More into the Sunra collection here. This is Sunra, Other Planes of There. Another very good album. After only one listen, has definitely moved up to one of the top Sunra albums I've ever heard. Of course, he still has tons of stuff I have not heard yet, but I have listened to a lot of his stuff. And with Sunra, you just blah blah. You don't necessarily know what you're going to get. It could be a very traditional, just jazz type thing, or you can get something that sounds like 15 6-year-olds in a room banging on whatever they can get their hands on. I mean, like literally some of his albums sound just like that, which I love. But this one here was actually, you know, kind of Sunra's Stranger side, but the saxophone players and the groove inside of this was very Coltrane-like, which I really, really loved. Matter of fact, I see when I put as one of the notes on the back of the album is, you know, very Coltrane sounding, which I think is kind of cool. So this has definitely moved up automatically in one of my favorite Sunra albums because it's really good stuff. Really good stuff. Now the last one here, this is one of the albums that Maggie actually got me for my birthday. And actually, I take that back. Let me do. Well, yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna do this one first. So, because one of the other things that Maggie got, I have to actually take you and show you. So let me show this one first, which is a nice happy birthday I got from Mr. Billy Crayoni. Mr. 80s himself sent me over a nice little card there, as well as a CD. This is We Stand With You, that Boston charity album, which is really cool. Sealed copy of that. And then he knows how much I love autographs, and he knows how much I love this particular lady, which is Lisa and the Cult Jam. And this is a 45 to All Cried Out with Full Force. So another very, very nice piece there. And again, Mr. Crayoni, thank you so very much for thinking about me, man. I really, really appreciate that. And then a couple of gifts from Maggie here. She gave me 2 records and then one other gift that I'll kind of show you here. The first record she gave me was John Coltrane live at the Village Vanguard again. I do have this on CD, but did not have it on vinyl, so it was very nice to get this added to my Coltrane collection, which I have been buying tons of lately. And I know I've said this before, but I've had a couple people ask me about doing a video of my Coltrane collection, and sometime this week I'm definitely going to do a video showing my entire Coltrane collection. But again, this is live at the Village Vanguard. kind of some more of his free stuff, a little bit on the not so traditional jazz side, which again I love. So very nice addition to the collection there. And then this one here, this is one that it was so funny. We were listening to this one night. This was maybe a couple weeks ago or whatever, and she had a copy of it. And I was listening to it, and I was like, "That's good stuff." We were talking about it, whatever else. And she said it's kind of hard to find and whatever. So I was like, "Well, I'll probably go out and get the CD because there was some pretty cool stuff." And so when I started talking about getting it, I think she got a little paranoid that I might run out and buy it before my birthday came along. So she went ahead and gave it to me early. And so what I did was, though, I took it and I basically refused to play it and refused to open it until my birthday, which is only a few hours away, so I figured it's okay. And so what that was, LJ, I'm sure, is Horse and Capricorn. So she got me a copy of that. And again, starting to hear these are kind of hard to come by, which is really cool. So, I won't pull everything out right now. I know it has a really cool poster to it, some cool inserts, and so I had a chance to listen to her copy. It's really, really neat stuff. So I was very happy to. Sorry, trying to get the glare out of there. Very happy to get a copy of that. So those were two of the things that Maggie got for me for my birthday. And the third thing, this was really cool too, because it was kind of a bit of a shocker, obviously. I don't know. I guess what I'll say is, it's one thing to receive VCLT and stuff like that, but one of the things that always sticks with me when I see people receive VCLT, when I send it out, and when something comes in or whatever else, it's just seeing how music is kind of a very humble type of thing, and I've always find it interesting that whether someone receives a 50-cent record or CD that someone found at a Goodwill, or they receive a $100 record from someone, it's almost like both of those instances can bring the exact same amount of joy. Whether a gift or something that comes strictly from the heart and doesn't have a lot of materialistic or monetary value, or if something does have a bunch of monetary value. With most other things in life, those two things become very significant. How much is from the heart, how much did you spend, or is it worth? But it's kind of like when you start getting it down to music a lot of times, that can kind of go away. It's the love of the music. I don't care if you gave me a $5 record or a $100 record or whatever else. And so this next gift that Maggie gave for me, it was really kind of one that was from the heart. It wasn't so much of her thinking about going out and spending, a bunch of money for something. But just kind of her thinking and actually caring about what I cared about, and kind of got this gift. So she kind of tried to surprise me with it, which she did, by tricking me into thinking I was going to grab something else. But let me kind of show you what it was. All right. And what Maggie did was built this, which is a organizer for my tape collection, or just shelves for my tape collection. She's known for a long time that one of the things that drove me absolutely crazy in terms of Mr. Hall of Fame's record exchange is that, you guys know I love the organization piece of putting stuff in genres and labeling and chronological order and all of that. And the only thing I have not been able to do that with have been my cassettes, because the only place I could store them was in those Napa Valley cases, which you can't keep in alphabetical order because you buy one new tape and you have to move 1,000 of them to keep everything in alphabetical order. So I had talked to a few people, and she was talking to people about, potentially getting someone to make some for me. And then she just kind of thought, well, what if I just went to Lowe's or something and bought just a few pieces of wood, had them cut it right there in the store. I'll just take it home and nail it together. And that's what she freaking did. And she told me about it like after she got the whole frame together, because she wanted to know, if there were some other things that I, maybe wanted on it or something like that. So I kind of came over and helped her finish a few things on the end. And on the very end, I basically painted it or whatever else, but she, put it all together and everything else. So 90% of the work she did. But I just thought that was really cool that, she's not into woodworking. She doesn't have any tools in terms, and all of that, but she just, knew that was something I cared about enough and just said, screw it, I'll try to make a box. And she did. And they turned out really freaking good, too. But as you can see there, my tapes are actually in alphabetical genre and chronological order. I mean, I have wanted that for so freaking long. So nice. So nice. So over here I have, my my metal and everything up there, down in the hard rock, into grunge too, and then from there it's like 70s and 80s. My cassette singles down there at the bottom. So that was one shelf right there. And here are all the, I've got to go take these down to storage. But see, here are all the empty Napa Valley cases that I took all those cassettes out of. And keep in mind, each one of these things holds 100. So you got like 9 of those there. I had my cassette singles in that box. I had these 3 laser line towers that held 100 each. These 2 other smaller Napa Valleys, as well as these cases down here. So, to get all of this stuff out, really created room and got that nice cool tower over there as well. And then coming on this side, here's the second one. There were 2 of them. So I put the second one in this little hallway right over here. And again, it's just really cool to finally have everything organized. And it created a lot more storage too, because as you can see here, as you're going through some of these, sorry, camera's not focusing very well there. I have some of the cassettes facing forward, just kind of do a little more of a decorative type thing, because I have so much extra space to store cassettes now. I think I figured, with these things completely full, I could probably add another 290 to 300 cassettes to these cases, so we'll not be running out of storage anytime soon with these. And not to mention they just look freaking awesome. Love it, love it, love it. So that was kind of one of Maggie's gifts to me in terms of my birthday coming up, was getting these two storage units, if you will. Can I tell you how excited I am to have my freaking cassettes organized now? I've been wanting that for so long. So anyway, there you go, VC. Again, thanks, Billy, Ben, everyone, Maggie. Really, really appreciate it. Another quick funny story too. Adam, when I was putting all the cassettes on the shelf and organizing them, I was listening to your mixtape CDs again. Man, I have not been able to stop listening to those things. That is just so much fun. But just thought I'd let you know about that. So anyway, thanks as always, VC, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys and gals.